Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So this is chapter 2 of the side quest of the Persona 5 Royal crossover. I will say this particular chapter was a lot longer than I expected, so be aware that if you haven't started, book off some time and make sure you're able to explore thoroughly. There are a lot of key items to collect, as well as some good treasures as well. So in this chapter, we enter the dark heart of the mayor, where it looks like a puppeteer show. The game also gives you tips on how to ambush enemies, and they are all between level 30 and 40. So if you've played the game long enough like I have, your level 60 to 80 team will take them down with one hit. However, if you're new to the game and are fans of Persona 5, make sure you have appropriate characters and gear in order to take on level 40 and up enemies, as well as the boss battles. Remember to ambush behind in order to get keys to unlock gates for treasures. And if you do need keys because you used them up on other gates, just kill everything in one area, walk out, and return. And those enemies should reappear for you to encounter and fight them. There's also a lot of pop-up dialogue that looks like Persona 5 graphics, with the black and that kind of jagged edge. I will say the graphics blend both games flawlessly, and it looks like it keeps both the flavor and design of Persona 5 Royal, as well as uses obviously Another Eden's gameplay engine. We also get ambushed by a ton of bunnies, or you can call them mimis, which attack us. Hey, at least they're not Total Dreamland versions. Has anyone beat her? Please leave comments below. If you need some tips on how to beat her, I do have a video up of how to beat Mimi-chan, and I didn't have any AS characters at that time. So it is doable, but very difficult and requires a lot of RNG and hoping that Mimi doesn't end you with a series of combos. Later on in this chapter, the rest of the Persona team is captured, with the exception of Joker and Morgana, who are with us. So all those teams with Joker and Morgana are looking around to find the keys in order to unlock and save them. Some of the great treasures that I found are in the form of badges. So along with some of the key items, I found a nice MP HP boost badge. So it's increased by 200 HP and 20 MP max, as well as a increased experience by 20% / 10% additional git drop. So a really nice badge there for leveling up as well as farming for git. There's also a very nice power int 1515 badge. So nice boost on both fronts would be perfect for kind of a hammer user hybrid healer such as a Melina or maybe the upcoming Rika, so on and so forth. Two other badges I found were increase in 15% healing, which would be perfect for people like Mariel, or weaker 4-star versions like Arena, as well as one final badge that reduces all MP use by 10%. So a little bit for everybody, and they're all new badges to my understanding. So a very nice addition to your team. You also find that you end up in a weird area where you walked on stuffed animals. Looks like a horror show to some, or maybe a dreamland to others. There is also a photo op location here in this location. So if you've played the game for a while, there are a couple of different locations where you can kind of press on, and your characters kind of get in a pose and almost like takes a flash, kind of like taking a tourist shot. So there's one in Total Dreamland, for example, one in Azana in the new Goddess from the East area as well. Now there are quite a few boss type battles here, and they are all signified by major trials. So again, for those who are new to the game, You probably have seen that in some of the boss battles. For those who are veterans, you know what's up. All the bosses feel like they range between level 40 and 45. So again, if you have an experienced team, it's going to be 1 or 2 hits at most. If you're relatively new to the game, again, make sure you have the appropriate weapons and armor, as well as your best multi-hit moves or special attacks. Now, unfortunately, I'm not able to tell you the exact moveset because I kind of just ended the boss with a couple of hits. So I'm sorry for not being able to help you guys there. So the bosses you are looking for are 2 different pompous shadow encounters, and then 1 huge bodied doll, and finally the last boss of the area. So 4 total boss fights, and that boss rotated between physical resistance for the first part of the battle, followed by magic resistance for the second part of the battle. So again, make sure you bring a mixed team that has some magic user and physical attacks, or a physical attacker that happens to have a magic attack. At the end of this chapter, we end up saving the mayor's heart so he turns back to good, but unfortunately we discover something else that is still evil and present. And another phantom appears. So again, for those who played through both part 1 of the main story as well as part 2, you'll know what the phantoms are, and there's quite a few of them. The master plan of this particular phantom is revealed. It's really unfortunate that all phantoms want to destroy our world. If you want the answer as to why, go check out chapter 54 to 55 of the walkthrough, and as long as you don't mind spoilers, the story walkthrough will give you some insight as to the purpose of phantoms, and at least the ones that are later in the game, and why they want to destroy humanity. Anyways, like most story videos that are very long, I'm going to stop talking and let you watch the rest of the video in peace. I will not narrate the boss battles because they are very short for me, but like I said, hopefully the tips I gave you will help any newcomers who are relatively new to the game. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Also, I do have a Patreon account for those who are interested in supporting me this way. Thanks for watching! We'll see you next time.
の極意お見せします。
次もこの調子でいこう。で終わりだ。
悪くない最後でしょ。
気を引き締めていこう。終わりだ。前に進むしかないだろう。